Hi, Peter. I have a question I want to ask. Can you imagine something out of nothing?
Define what nothing is.
So basically, nothing is absent of something.
That okay. So here's why that okay, so the question fails and I don't think that description makes any sense either. Because for example, if something doesn't have a charge, then it has no charge, right? But we know that
Yeah.
atoms are made of individual positive and negatively charged particles. But overall, they have a neutral charge. So there's something there, but the charge is nothing, right? They have no charge, but there actually are positive and negative charges within the thing. So that's a roundabout sort of weird way in which I can say there's something embedded within this no charge aspect, right? So what do you mean by nothing?
Yeah. No, like what I'm trying to like say is like everything that you can imagine, it have to be a reality, and then become this reality. For example, like a unicorn. If you imagine a unicorn, a horse, it is a reality. A horn, it is a reality. But you like cut and paste from it, and then it become
Okay.
not reality, like something in your mind
You're
that
you're
made,
talking about
like what
unicorns,
everything you
and
observe,
obviously unicorns cannot
information
possibly
in
have
your
anything to
mind.
do with this. So the question is, what did you mean by nothing?
Don't exist. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what did you mean by nothing?
No, this is what I'm trying to say. It's like nothing. That's absolute, like absolute nothing. Like there isn't. It came out of nothing. Like just pop in your head without any references or without any information, past information. Like you've seen similar to it or something that even close to it.
Okay,
That's
good
nothing.
enough. Good enough. So, are you telling me that it is literally impossible, no matter what, for something to come from nothing?
From something to come out of nothing. Yeah, it's like impossible.
Okay. Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in God.
Do you believe God created the universe?
Yeah.
What did God create the universe out of?
Okay. Now this is what I'm going to come to you to. Before that, I was saying if we cannot imagine something comes out of nothing, so like the idea of somebody who's imagining that there is a God, it had to have something in the beginning of it. You know what I mean? Like from where did somebody imagine it that oh there's a God, there's a creator?
The question was, what did God create the universe out of?
Yeah. He's the one who's created the universe.
Yeah, so the question was,
He's the only one who can create
what
it out of
did
nothing.
God
Not that
create the universe out of?
he created it out of nothing. He's the only one he can do it.
Okay, so put up the score here real quick. You actually, that's not right. This is the actual score. The score is you nothing, you one. Now let me explain. I asked you, are you telling me it's impossible, no matter what, for something to come from nothing? And you said yes, but then you said God created the universe out of, what was it again? Oh yeah,
Okay, what I'm
nothing.
trying to
So the
say,
score is
because
you
this is
zero,
this is
you
okay.
one.
Like this is what you're not trying to get. Okay, what I'm trying to explain. First of all, you need to understand that the laws of physics, the laws of the universe, that's what's in it. Huh, God is all powerful. He's much bigger. He's the one who created it. So
Out
that's
of
what
what?
the idea. No, no. Let me continue. The idea of you can't imagine you as a person. I'm talking as you as a person. You cannot imagine something out of nothing. You cannot even imagine it.
No,
No,
neither can
you
you.
can't
And then
imagine.
you did.
Yeah, no, you can't imagine it. So basically, like the
Neither can
idea
you.
of imagining, no, no, okay, let me continue. The idea of somebody who imagine, oh, there's a God, need to have an information inside you. You know what I mean?
Okay, anyways, so God created the universe out of literally nothing.
God created the universe.
Out of?
Well, what you see today, like the atoms, the science that we're having today, the Big Bang that happened.
I didn't ask you that question. I'm just asking you, what did he make the universe out of?
And I'm telling you, now you're asking me questions. I ask you a question, and you're not answering my question. Can you imagine something out of nothing?
No.
No, you can't. So how can you imagine that there is a God? How can somebody imagine that there's a God?
I can't imagine there's a God.
Oh, somebody made it in head, and it's not reality. Yeah.
Can I?
So
okay.
it is
Can I ask?
reality
Can I ask
that
you a?
God
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah. No.
Well, can I ask you two questions actually?
Go ahead.
Okay. Is it possible for something to exist and not be made out of anything?
Something to exist and not made of. If you're saying God, he can exist and not made out of nothing.
So, can something exist and not be made out of anything?
If in our universe or anything you're speaking about.
Anything.
Like
can anything exist and not be made out of anything?
Only God. He's the only one who can exist and made out.
Okay, well, you knew where I was going with that because you were going to say no. This version of you was going to say no, and then I was going to ask you what is God made of, and then you would have said nothing, and so I would have given you another point. But you, like a chess grand champion, you saw what my next move was going to be. So it reminds me of that meme where it's outstanding move. So good job. Anyways, how did God make the universe? So this is where you're going to be able to give me a reason why I should believe
I will tell you. I will tell you why. First of all, let me address the thing as I said. So we observe informations as I said on things, and then we change it. We change the reality in our heads, and then from changing the reality, that's how imagination starts working. And the way how people imagine, you need to have information. For example, like dreams or like that. A blind guy cannot dream with image.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Because he never observed image in his life when he was born blind.
What are you doing?
Born blind, he can't.
What are you doing?
So he can't dream or imagine with images. That's impossible. For a born blind guy. I will tell you.
How did God make the universe? So that was a lovely story you just told about somebody dreaming.
Of God, okay. I'm telling you.
What the heck happened to the audio?
Is
anybody else like the audio is all squirrely, or is it just me?
Yeah, it's his connection.
I can hear you.
I have a bit bad connection right now.
That's okay. It sounds better now.
But yeah, so through the Big Bang.
So how did God create the universe?
Through the Big Bang.
What does that mean?
Well, what does that mean?
Okay. If I asked you, okay, hold on. Let me pinpoint why that was an inadequate response from my perspective. If I told you, a 5-year-old built this car And you said, how? And I said, last week. Or I said, he built it in the garage. You're not answering how.
Yeah.
Right? You're answering when, where. You're just stating the Big Bang doesn't tell me how God did anything. Because we can look at the Big Bang, which is just what the universe does, and be like, well, that's just all of nature. Right? So obviously we don't need anything supernatural there. How did God create the universe? I'm going to put the score up here real quick.
Well, what's revealed to us is through only the Big Bang. That's how God creates the universe. I mean, you cannot have like all the answers. Like first of all, you need revelations.
The Big Bang is literally just the universe itself. Okay? You telling me that the universe exists is not a description of how God created the universe. Tell me how.
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay. I'm not sure what to ask next. You ask me a question.
Yeah, no, what like I'm trying to say is like this is what I'm trying to say. So basically, the idea of, as I said, like the imagination. Okay, so like you observe information. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Okay.
You observe information. For example, like if somebody is born blind, okay, he cannot imagine images. He cannot dream with images because he never observed vision in his mind. So basically, the idea of God itself, like if atheists claim, oh, it's just somebody imagined God, where this source came from in the beginning, it needs to come from a reality.
Are you telling me that it sounds like at the end there you kind of sort of said the Big Bang came from reality?
It is reality, Big Bang.
And it came from reality?
No, I'm talking about God existence. Okay, like how atheists say it's just imagination, it's not real, and I'm explaining. Yeah.
Can something exist outside of reality?
Can something exist? I don't know. It could be. I don't have the answer. What's reality to you? Define me reality. Let's see if we have the same page of what's reality.
Reality? I guess reality would well, it's kind of off the top of my head. If I'm thinking of what is reality, I'm just gonna say the universe is reality, right?
If something can exist out of the universe, yeah, it could exist out of the universe.
I typically say the sum of all things that exist.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you have even like theories that there's different universes, parallel universe, multiverse. That's a different universe. That's out of our universe.
So, question: if reality is the sum of all things that exist, and God is outside reality, doesn't that mean God doesn't exist?
No, God does exist because, like, okay, like this is the thing. Like always, you present God as like the laws of physics. He's outside of this laws of physics, outside of your.
How do we define something
reality.
that exists? What do we use to define something that exists?
You cannot imagine it. That's why.
If God cannot be imagined, then there's no possible way that we can ever conclude that God exists.